How's it going, guys? This is Blake from Team Primetime, best gym in Mount Airy, and I got second place with Infernoble Knights at a card shop in Jonesville, Flashpoint Games. Really great card shop, great people. Had a really good time. Got to play with my boy Garrett. You guys might know him from the Team Primetime channel. So yeah, let's get into this. All right, starting out, 3 copies of OGR. I'm not on a Battling Boxer package right now because I couldn't find one. So running this as your normal summon is still it's alright because it forces you to only have 2 card combos, but it's still a great normal summon because it plus the 2 copies of Renaud get you a negate before your opponent can nib you. So it's a free gear freed. All right, and then the one of Infernoble Knights. So one Turpin. Oh, this is one of your best cards. Kind of a custom card if I'm being honest with you. It just went crazy this entire event. One Oliver. One Malgus. Malgus, it didn't come up as much, but the resource, it recycles your resources for you. That way it never feels like you're low on anything. So I shuffled back like a couple of Emperor Charleses. It went kind of hard. The one copy of Richard. So these are all my Noble Knights I am playing. This guy is honestly insane with the Diabellstar stuff. So it makes a Diabellstar kind of a pseudo 1.5 card combo. So it just makes it pretty good, man. One Fireflint. I am back on Fireflint. I wasn't playing this card, but it just comes up too much now. Especially as many hand traps as people are running now. It just felt really good. Felt kind of weird not to play it. And I did cut one card that you'll see soon, so I could play this card. Pseudo Noble Knight is Gear Freed. Yeah, he just does what Noble Knights need to do. So yeah, that's why we play him. He's just a free negate. 3 copies of Diabellstar. I didn't have access to a 1 engine, so I just ended up playing 3 of this. I would cut it down, but you know, it's too good not to play. It's a fire deck, so you obviously need the Diabellstar to summon out your level 1s. We have 2 of them that we need to summon. 3 if you count Fireflint. All right. We got 1 OSS. So as I said, I didn't have access to a 1 engine, so. I could think about playing more of this if you wanted to. If you have access to more, you can definitely play more of this. 1 for 1 because I didn't have access to that. It does the same thing as Diabellstar, so that's why I was running it. All right, now for the Noble cards, I went 3 Museum. Kind of, it's not played as much anymore at 3. I've seen plenty of lists with 2. Since I'm not running a heavy any other like normal summon engine, I just decided to go this so I can get access to my Noble Knights a lot faster. 1 Terraforming, just because I feel like the more copies of Museum you open, the better your hand is. That was the old way of thinking. People have kind of changed it now in the Noble Knight community, but I think just more of this card leads to better endboards. 3 Heritage, it acts as any copy of your Noble Knight monsters and a copy of Museum. So it just gives you access to your whole deck, basically. 1 Rotus, since we're on a warrior deck, it searches anybody. Don't really need to explain that. Durandal is access to any of your Noble Knights again. So I am on 3 equip spells right now. I cut Joyous because I kept breaking on it, and I cut it for the Fireflint. It wasn't feeling great opening it, so I was done because these do so much in your opening hand. These 3 right here do so much in your opening hand. It just felt too good to not play it. It felt too bad to play Joyous. Alright, for some non-engine, I am on 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Yeah, nothing to really say about this. 2 copies of Droll. It's a format where not many people are playing ways around it. Too many decks search to not play it. 3 copies of Valor. And 3 copies of Ash. Those are all my hand traps that I am running. These just felt too good not to run. They're just too standard. I wasn't sure what people were going to be playing at this locals, so that's just what I ran. Alright. And then I am on 2 Crossouts and 1 Call by the Grave. This deck wants to win going first every single time. It does struggle going second, so I could see replacing these, like most of these, for board breakers. But if you just winning that die roll feels like you won the game basically with this deck. It's just such a good going first deck. It can make unbreakable boards, and it just felt too good. So on to the extra. Alright. Don't want to keys a token. I'm on 2 copies of Emperor Charles. Making 2 of this now doesn't feel as good anymore as it used to, because you used to end on like really strong inboards, but now it doesn't feel as great. So what you and the 1 Link Spider, just so you can make SP anyways. The 1 SP. So making Charles with Gearfried plus SP is like a insanely strong inboard. You get a pop with Charles, a negate with Charles, a negate with Gearfried, and a banish with SP. Like not many decks are playing through that, you know. 1 Hita. This is just if we get ashed on any of our key starters, we can link it away, or link 2 monsters away, and make this into so we can make our princess, so we can continue extending. 1 IP. It comes up in the Battling Boxer board. I just didn't know what else to put here. It feels really good if you can make this with materials for SP, just so your SP effect is live on your opponent's turn, the first effect. 1 Ferocious. I played this. It's not a bad warrior monster at all. It has a pretty cool effect when it's destroyed to, I believe, reborn a monster. Yeah, it reborns a monster but banishes it when it leaves the field. But I played it so I could get my princess off the board. Princess is so good. It's such a good card for this deck. It kind of does the same thing as Charles for the deck. Well, that's not true. It's kind of the same thing that Soul did a little bit. The ability to reborn a monster on summon. Soul didn't really do that, but you know, you get what I'm saying. 1 copy of access code. So if all else fails, if you don't kill if your opponent doesn't scoop it up and they end up breaking your board, if you can get Hita out, if you haven't used it already, get 1 of their fire monsters, because we are in a fire format, or if they've asked you, get 1 of their fire monsters, just make it, get another material on board, make the access code, and you should have, at the very least, 2 attributes in your grave to pop those 2, and this will be like a 48 beater. So, the 1 Angelica, this is basically sold now. You're always making this first. It has not targeting immunity, but if it's targeted, it replaces itself with the Captain Roland, which I'm on 2 of. Didn't really want to play 2 here, because I didn't have access to an Angel Ring, and I forgot it, so you could replace 1 of these with something else if you need to, but the 2 rolling line is very good. It's still doable, and it gets you access to Angel Ring with your inboard, which is just insane. 1 Infernoble Knight for Charles. He's not as good anymore because we got the Link Charles now, which just does the same thing that he does and adds a negate on top of it. But making this to break a board is not bad either, because it pops a card when a card is equipped. Boom, and the 2 XZs that I'm on. Sad, couldn't find my Battling Boxer package. This guy would have came up a lot more than he did. But Battling Boxer King Disney just searches any Fire Warrior in our deck. Level 4 lower. And 1 Abyss Dweller. I made this because there was a tier player that always comes to our locals. He was there today, didn't get to fight him. This would have came up for sure. I would have been making this passing effect, just turn skipping basically. But that is the extra. Moving on to the side. I'm on 3 evenly matched. You're usually siding this card in every time going second, depending on what you're fighting. A lot of trap decks at my locals and stun decks at my locals, so just evening them out of their back row is just so insane. Or breaking like really strong boards like the tier board, like I mentioned before, that this breaks it immediately. Boom. 3 Nib. I'm on 3 Nib because not many decks can put up negates right now, besides the new Azamina stuff. Not many decks can do that, and at my locals, nobody has that engine yet, so just running these just felt too good to not. I'm on 3 Fenrir, and the 1 Rice Heart. So this becomes a pseudo engine in your deck just to get access to a level 4 Fire Warrior, in case you like, and it becomes Interruption on your own board, which is just insane. Alright, 2 Tactics. You know, everybody knows what Tactics does. It's too good of a card not to run. 2 Lightning Storm. I think it's still a pretty good board breaker. I was running a decent bit of board breakers in my deck. and the 1 Harpies, as I said, stun decks really mess with this deck. So just outing their back row is just insane. And yeah, that is the 2nd place Infernoble deck profile. Just the deck felt amazing. I'm glad to play it again. Should be posting more in the future. I will for sure have changes. Thanks for watching. Shout out to Team Primetime again. Shout out to my boy Garrett for always playtesting with me. He's always the GOAT. And shout out to Flashpoint Games. See you guys.